Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's Chris from the Whistle Stop Cafe in Mirror, Alberta here. Some pretty interesting developments over the last couple days. As I'm sure you're all aware, the Alberta government has yet again gone back on their word. Premier Kenney, Dina Hinshaw, and Minister Shandro have flip-flopped and gone back on their word again. But it was totally expected. So, the whole point of this live is there's been hundreds of people asking me, what do we do? What do we do about this? What do we do about possibly getting fired because we don't want to take a vaccination? What do we do to push back against these garbage, BS rules and mandates that seemingly do not make any kind of a difference, yet are forced on us continuously? In the past, I would have encouraged civil disobedience. Unfortunately, I'm compelled by court right now, under threat of incarceration, to not encourage any illegal gatherings or encourage breaking the public health orders. So I'm not going to do that, but I have done that in the past. What I am going to do is I'm going to give you all an idea of what we can do to stop this madness and stop it immediately. So before I begin, I'm going to let those of you who are thinking, oh, here's this burger flipper again, what grounds does he have to speak on any of this? He just pours coffee and cooks food. He doesn't know anything. So I'm going to wait for some of those comments, and then we'll get to it. The coffee's great here, by the way. Okay, now that we've got that out of the way, here we go. So, the major problem we have in this province right now is Premier Jason Kenney. Premier Kenney is a lying, manipulative, narcissistic, I'll leave it at that, politician who does not have Alberta's best interests in mind. He is not an effective leader, and he's lost control of his own party. Jason Kenney needs to absolutely go. And here's how we can do it. So as many of you are aware, there are bylaws and policies in place within the United Conservative Party. Part of these bylaws and policies include provisions to either recall your MLA or force a leadership review of the party leader, Jason Kenney. It's very easy to do. So for all of you out there that have had enough of this garbage and want to go back to a normal province where we're not under threat of businesses closing, and I tell you, businesses are going to close from these latest mandates. Dina Hinshaw herself said that she doesn't know when these restrictions are going to be lifted, and the one in question, the mask thing, I don't really give a crap about it. It sucks to have to wear a mask, but it's not going to cost somebody their business. I don't believe they work. That's insignificant. I'm compelled by court to do it, so I'll have to do it. The one that is going to cost people their businesses is forcing bars to stop serving liquor at 10 p.m. And the government knows that. At 10 p.m., that's when the bars really get going. So you tell me that a place that serves liquor, how are they going to survive? They're not going to. They've already been through hell. They've already lost a crap ton of money putting in patios that didn't work, closing down numerous times. The 10 p.m. thing is going to kill some of these bars, and possibly even some restaurants. So we need to stand up for those people as well. And that's what's got me really mad, is that the government seems to think that, oh, it's just temporary, it'll be fine, just deal with it. We're not just dealing with it. People are losing their businesses. They're losing their livelihoods. Restaurant and business owners are committing suicide. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't need to be this way. If we had all stood up in the first place, when this all started, this would be over. It'd be 100% over. For those of you that are on the fence, it's time to get off the damn fence and stand up for yourself and stand up for your friends and neighbors. Enough is enough. This is not going to end until we make it end. So let's make it end. Step 1. The UCP has constituency associations in every riding across Alberta. Now, these constituency associations and their board members decide on what messaging they want their MLAs to bring to the legislature, or into caucus. If 50% plus one of the CA board members in any constituency vote in favor of a leadership review, they can table that and force a leadership review. In those constituencies where the board members are refusing to stand up, or the MLAs are refusing to stand up and bring that messaging, it takes 100 members, 100 UCP members in every constituency, or in each constituency association is enough to trigger a leadership review. And we only need 16 CAs to do it. Now I'm hoping Nathan is watching. If I got my numbers wrong, he's going to correct me. But as far as I know, it is well within our power as either CA board members or UCP members to trigger MLA recalls and leadership reviews. So do it. Find 10 friends. Get those 10 people, need to find 9 or 10 more people, and you have the power to remove the Premier from office. It's that simple. We don't need to wait for an election. We don't need to wait for the BS 6 months prior to the election leadership review that's been guaranteed. Nobody's going to vote to remove the Premier 6 months before election, and everybody knows it. The MLAs will lose their jobs. The party will lose power. They're not going to do it. We need to do it right now, today. Start doing this today. Get a group together. Talk to your CAs. Call and email your MLAs, and if they're unwilling to stand up, fire them as well. Every MLA that we know is on the fence about these restrictions and what the Premier has done has received a letter explaining exactly that we need them to stand up for Albertans and it's time to do something. No more talking, no more letter writing. They need to make some significant changes and get vocal. 2 of them have already done it. They're sitting as independents right now because they stood up for what they believe in. And the Premier kicked them out of the party for it. Is he going to kick everybody out? Do you know how many people it takes, or how many MLAs have to cross the floor to form a new instant party and be recognized in government? 4. We already have 2. We don't have to wait for an election. It's time to get mad, it's time to get loud, and it's time to make a difference in this province. So this burger flipper with 45,000 people following his page, I'm sorry, Jason Kenney, but you pissed off the wrong guy, and I've had too many messages and phone calls and emails from people that have lost everything to sit back and watch you destroy this province, one bankrupted business at a time. Enough is enough. If you are on the fence, it's time to get off the fence. Send some emails, make some noise. We're going to be protesting at every constituency office across Alberta over the next couple weeks, and we're going to be working to remove the Premier and remove any MLAs that refuse to stand up for Albertans. Now, you might be asking yourself, how does this sit within party lines? When it comes to standing up for Albertans and standing up for our rights and freedoms, there is no right and left. There are no parties. There are people who either wish to be free or they don't. So if you're an NDP member or supporter and you don't like what the Premier has done, get vocal. Do something. Get a membership within the UCP and have your voice heard there. Remove the Premier if you don't like him. It's time to cooperate across party lines, across ignoring whether or not you believe in masks or vaccines or whatever. It's time for the right and the left to cooperate to take this province back and show the world that when the people stand up, the government has no chance. I said it before, all eyes right now are on Alberta. They're watching us. They're watching us from afar. They're watching us from the other provinces, waiting to see what we do. Alberta, the people here, we don't roll over and die because the government says we're going to. We fight back with everything we can. We do it politely. We don't hurt anybody, but we sure as hell fight back, and it's time to do that. So, NDP members, Liberal Party, whatever, I don't really care. Get loud and tell the Premier that you've had enough of this. I cannot sit by and watch the leader of our province lie over and over and over again and destroy businesses and cave to political pressure. I'm sorry, Jason Kenney, but I did not elect you to do whatever you think is going to get you voted back in and keep power. I voted for you because I expect you to do the right thing every time, even if it's not the popular decision. I expect you to stand up for Albertans. I expect you to stand up for me, and I expect you to stand up for the ideals and the principles that this province and this country were created on. So, goodbye, Jason Kenney. It's not going to take long now. Everybody knows what they need to do. We need 50% plus one of constituency board members in any riding to vote in favor of a leadership review or an MLA recall, or we need 100 members to trigger a special meeting in which they can ask the same thing. So, Alberta, let's get this done. Let's take our province back. Enough is enough.